I just wanted to make a video here to describe an observation I've made here. First of all, I think most people have backed away from Donald Trump that were Trump supporters. Many people who are Trump supporters are realizing, okay, there's something not right here, and there is something bad. They're catching on. How do I know this? It's because I live in a place where it's rural America. You could call it Heartland of America. It's not in the Midwest, but it's where cattle, corn, potatoes, onions, all of that are grown. It's a place where agriculture is big and where the place feeds millions, billions. Okay, so within this area, my name is Dan Paulson. Welcome to the video. As time has gone by, as I've lived here over the years, as Donald Trump began to emerge on the political scene, you began to see Trump support signs emerge all over. They were huge. And after the first term, when he didn't allow the movement of a smooth transition. There's something very much going on. He's watching it on video, eating a burger. The quality of human being he is unlike any president we've ever had. It's really just this slug. It's like, what the hell? You don't care about America. You care about yourself. That was evident, of course, before then. Even the way that the nature of the way he was, the way that he mimicked the individual that had developmental disability. He's teasing somebody disabled. Yeah, what would happen if you or I did that? You act like a whatever. Why does he get away with that? The manner in which people would talk about policy, it was more like just bang, bang, shoot him up, degrade, belittle, demean. There was really nothing kind of a policy. We'll just, kick him out. We'll just do something here. There was really no fix action for stuff. It's really a simple approach to life. But, a lot of people realized as much as we don't want to keep swinging left, that this right here, there's somebody has shifted into that whole make America great again. You could look and see that he did not have America at heart. He had Donald Trump at heart. There was something very much wrong there. At any rate, that was not recognized. You get people out in rural areas that are living these simple lives, and they're watching Fox News, going to church, doing the normal things like that, but there's not a lot of city influence. If you lived in the city and you lived rural for years, back and forth. I came from a rural area. I've lived in cities. I live on the edge of the two right now. I know what it's like to live in both and the lifestyle that is different in both. And I know the minimal exposure that there is in rural areas, and that television and media, things like that, become, the norm. I traveled for years going into these areas, and I would wake up in motel rooms, and it was always when you get up in the morning at 6 o'clock to start breakfast, to start your day, and then you get to take off and go to work, Fox News would be on. Fox News is always that way. It's very much a Fox News place. Fox and CNN are both propaganda networks. They teach a very small slice of something, and they influence that population. So this population becomes huge Trump support. It is right-wing. It is supported by evangelicals, all of that. So you've got the Heartland. I'm on board with that. That's my political party right there. My candidate, I don't even really, as far as judging the quality of what he was, I don't know why Christian right-wing Americans gave Donald Trump a pass to begin with. If you observe the values of this individual and the quality of this individual, you should say, boy, this guy is not really up to par with this country, not up to par with me or with what good values are. He's a very self-centered person, very arrogant, laughed at globally by people. Yeah, what a joke. Honestly, he is. All right. What happens, though, in this area as you're driving through and all these Trump signs have been up over the years? Trump country. We love Donald Trump. Trump, the year, I can't remember all the signs up. Some of them are very derogatory, very much. How do you like it now? It's kind of like this in-your-face kind of stuff, which is pretty much kind of what the party has become. I don't know the party of Karens. Anyway, Karens are on both sides. That was not a fair thing to say. But yeah, maybe it was. What I see, though, recently with Donald Trump and all of his people realizing the self-aggrandizing, the hero, it's the me, it's not about America, it's about me, Donald Trump, what a hero I am, and how the economy is tanked, and how you begin to see what's going on, and that we start bombing overseas the day that the Epstein files erupt. No matter what, everything else. What happened to Bill Clinton when the day that Monica Lewinsky was going to appear before the grand jury, he bombs an aspirin factory in the Sudan, thinking that Bin Laden. I heard Bin Laden was there, or that he was that they were supporting terrorist activity. Anyway, what is this? It's a diversion tactic. It's happening on the day that, for whatever reason, you might want to do it or to make excuses for it. What benefit is it? What have we done? What have we accomplished? Now things are becoming very expensive. Travel is down. Tourism is down. Money is down. Profits are down. Cost has gone up. Paying fees. Who pays the fees when you're having to pay import taxes? Is it whoever's importing the stuff? No, it's the person purchasing. That increased cost for import goes to you, the consumer. It's not for the other person. It's a ridiculous idea. They're not paying for it. They're not selling as much. What it does is it forces you to pay higher price for their goods or shift to a different purchasing. Anyway, it's all business kind of practices. It's not global. You might say there's benefit to it, but there's detriment to it as well when we're trying to figure out a global economy that's growing. Anyway, you go out into that land now as you drive through that area and you see all of those Trump signs down. They finally get it that it's not okay. But what has happened? They just turn away from it. Nobody stands up for it. Nobody says, oops, we made a mistake. Let's impeach him. Let's get him out of here before he continues to do damage. Everybody just looks away from it like it didn't happen. What happened to all of you Trump supporters and all of those Trump support signs that were up out there? You didn't recognize him to begin with. You would put somebody else in place just like him. You wouldn't recognize it. You're doing what your party tells you to do because the church tells you to do that, and you believe you're doing the right thing without understanding that you're being used as a political tool. You've got your beliefs, but you're being used as a political tool as well. You're marching a party line without understanding the quality of the individual. You couldn't tell what Donald Trump was about to begin with, really? I get that the alternative was not good. But we're swinging farther and farther left and farther right. What's happening? It's an evolutionary process that is denied by Abrahamic traditions. But that's not what this video is about. The video is about this. Everybody supported Donald Trump until Donald Trump went like this and the economy is bad and everything, and you finally realize, oh, Donald Trump isn't a good guy. Instead of making any changes, though, I'm just going to secretly take my signs away and go about my business, put blinders on, and pretend like nothing happened. You know what? That's not going to work. What you've let out of the bag can't get put back in. Left wing, when I go to the doctor and my insurance company requires me to answer a questionnaire which includes questions like, do you identify as a man or a woman? Do you prefer to be called ma'am or sir? That is why the right swings so far, because the left swings so far. There's got to be a middle of the road. If you're gay, why can't you just live gay? And everybody that's straight, they're gay. That's it. Leave it right there. So what? That's the way people are born. When you start forcing other people into your world and to manipulate them somehow as to create conditions that disrupts their normal life, that's not comfortable. I don't appreciate having to sit and answer those questions about whether or not I want to be called a man or a woman, or whether I think I identify as a man or a woman. As a 67-year-old grandfather, father of daughters and grandkids, grandfather of grandkids, I think it's ridiculous what we've come to right there. And that's why Donald Trump appears, because it's like, whew, you got to knock that off. You got to find a middle of the road. There's got to be a middle path. This extreme right and extreme left is not okay. That's where we've swung. How come nobody makes sense anymore? Trump supporters, I see what you've done. You're pretending like you did, most of you, pretending like you didn't support him all along. You're just trying to secretly go back to work. Too late. Too late. Everyone else, this is the epitome of the blind leading the blind. We will all fall into the pit. That's what's happened. They've just blindly followed what their political party and, the church political party, they're inseparable. Separation of church and state, that might happen in policy only, but it doesn't happen when somebody's voting. They're voting because of a belief system. You cannot separate church and state. And what we've seen under Donald Trump is that the Constitution really doesn't matter, does it? Yeah. How's your queen? Everyone else, see you in the next video.